Hey guys, today it's North Georgia Hillbilly back again. Today I'm going to be looking at and just showing off a little bit the Real Prey trout. It's a 10-inch trout, soft-bodied trout. However, it's made of silicone, which is one thing that's definitely different about it. Between a HUD is one of the bigger things you'll notice. It's not as plush as a HUD. At least this one isn't yet. I've dealt with a Real Prey bass. It's had a bunch of sun exposure, and it seemed to be softened up a whole lot. So we'll see if that happens with this one. But either way, it's a 10-inch trout with what an extremely realistic face up here. You can see the paint on it, which there's a scale pattern there. I don't think the camera will catch it. But the paint is actually the exact same material as the bait is. So you don't have any peeling. There's no peeling that's going to happen. Whereas, here you can, as you all know, you can see where it's peeling off from bumping or getting chomped on. So either way, what we've got as well aesthetically is these eyes, which are like the same eyes that would be in a hard bait. And they're connected right here. So they're not coming out. I mean, I don't have any worry about them coming out, but they definitely give it a good look, and really, I like the fact that it has those nicer eyes in it as well. Inside, you've got lead down here and some sort of plastic up here. Not sure if it's just holding it together, what exactly it's doing, because the silicone itself is extremely buoyant. For those that bottom bounce, the bait stock it'll sit like that. Just sit like that on the bottom as you pull along with that tail kicking. So it's great for bottom bouncing guys. One thing I did, in no way necessary, just conducive to the way I fish, I took and removed a little bit of lead down here, and then added this weight right here, which is just a drop shot weight, so it'll fall more horizontal as opposed to that nose down. And that's because I'm slow crawling it like this, almost all the time. And I'm sure Joe at Real Prey, who shout to him, he got this to me, overnighted it, and just so that I could have it for a certain fishing trip. And that, the bait's really, I'm really impressed with the bait. And I'm also, Joe's a good guy, so if you want customer service, Joe will take care of you. But back to the bait, I'm sure that custom fall rate could be designed and could be delivered to you. I was just impatient, so I just, went with the standard, and just because I wanted to get one and try it out. But anyway, this tail will kick at an extremely slow speed. I was real impressed with how slow it will go. Obviously, you don't have that vortexy, triangle-y shape that you have with a HUD. You've got this kind of like a bulb, skinny down here and then a bulb up here, curved like that right there. But either way, it'll kick at extremely slow speeds. I'm swimming it slow at a reel every 2 seconds or something, one turn of the reel handle every 2 seconds, and that tail's kicking, and it'll kick. The higher you get, it'll keep kicking, and has a whole bunch of stability. I mean, if you get up to really burning it, it'll do a little bit of this, but it'll never get past like an angle like that. Also, one thing that's interesting, if you want a floating one, the thing will kick when floating, which is something we all know doesn't happen with a lot of different soft boottail or soft baits. This thing will kick when it's floating. Like, I've burned this one relatively fast to keep it up top, and that tail will wag when it's floating. So that's something that's worth knowing and worth messing around with for folks that like to fish that way. But either way, for my rigging, what I did was I initially took it out the first day after getting it, and just had this top hook on, just like I do my HUDs. And I was getting a bunch of action, more action on it than I was a HUD actually, for whatever reason. But they weren't actual solid bites. I saw it personally. I saw it through the water, them actually come up and bumping them and stuff. I don't know what they're doing. I'm checking them out, looking for that reaction, looking for that swim off, that jump that a real trout will do, which is hard to really replicate when you're working the bait. So they weren't committing, but I was getting a bunch of nips, and I got one that I believe was a pretty solid bite. But a lot of the fish that I'm seeing are coming up from behind. and biting. Even though they've, seen a bunch of trout, they're still biting from behind. So what I did was I added the second hook right here. I'm sure one could be put on the bottom, but I just like having them on the top. So I added a second hook right here, another size 2, rigged onto this hook. So we're wrapped around and hitched up on this one, and then going back here and just hitched up on that. And the so far, haven't got to throw it since I added the second hook. But looking forward to it. I think that'll actually up it a little bit and see what I can get. Now, I don't think a 13, 14 pounder would have any problem just chomping the whole thing. But when you're just fishing for those bites that'll come, I think the second hook's probably going to help me out a good bit. But either way, just these, I don't know how many people have gotten theirs like this yet. But if you haven't, then you hadn't gotten yours and ordered it, I'm sure it'll come. But if you have got yours, or if you're looking to get one, I definitely check it out. It's heavy. The rod I'm fishing it with right now is reeled. I mean, I'm lobbing it, but I'm still enjoying the bait. And actually, I'm going to be getting another rod, pretty much to throw this bait. I spend almost all my time with the HUD currently, and this is going to come in and become another bait that I use on a regular basis. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to see what other people can do with it. But either way, so that's my views up to this point, at least, on the Real Prey 10-inch trout.